apple every day. A third cup of beets every day. And if you say you don't like beets, afterwards you can come up, we're going to give you the El Kabong, hit you on top of the head, and all of a sudden you like beets. Beets are your friend. Beets will lower your cholesterol 40%. It'll clean up your liver. And 4 or 5 baby carrots every day. You don't have to raise your hand, but how many of you have little floaters in front of your eyes you like to have go away? Well, those floaters are caused by a plugged up liver. Dr. Bob's ABCs every day: half an apple, red, third cup of beets, organic grated raw are the best, and then you can do baked beets. There's only one side effect from beets. You poop. Very good, class. All those that weren't listening, -1. Okay, Dr. Bob's ABCs, apple, beets, and carrots is important for your liver. So what was really happening is I have medical doctors that are patients of ours. And I had one particular one that came in, and she was having heavy menstrual flow. So imagine, she's a radiologist. She's talking to me. They were going to do trigger point surgery to her. They were going to do carpal tunnel surgery to her. They're going to do all these surgeries to her. So a friend of hers said, you should go see Dr. Bob. So she came in, very nice person. She had hip pain. But you know what else they wanted to do to her? They wanted to do ablation. Do you know what ablation is? Ablation is when they get this hot poking wire, that's just trying to be very archaic, and they cauterize the inside of your uterus. That is to stop the heavy menstrual flow. Now I'm going to tell you right now, you can go and do Google research. The main reason to have a heavy menstrual flow is too much estrogen. That'd be like me having anyone to do that chronic diarrhea, put a cork up your hind end. Does it get to the cause of the problem? It does not. So what happens to ladies who have ablation, and eventually, you know what could happen to them if they don't change their lifestyle? They'll get cancer. Do you know what happens if you get cancer? You can die. Now, when patients come to see us and they have cancer, we work and do everything we can to reverse. You got to understand this. A fool is somebody that thinks that they can do the exact same thing and get a different result. My wife's mother had breast cancer in 1968. If my wife would have went down to the Polish club and did to follow the same recipe that my mother-in-law did, guess what happened to my wife? She had her breast off also. We changed. We changed everything. I had a lady that came in the office the other day. I really felt sorry for her because she said 60% of her people in her family had cancer, and she just got cancer, and she never really totally listened to me. So I had a very nice conversation with her, but the bottom line was, unless she was willing to change, she's going to die. And I can tell people all the time they're going to die. I used to have a hard time with that, but I don't have as much hard time with it now because I know we can help people live if they're willing to make changes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. You don't want to be doing any recycle number 7. You start looking at your bottles. You don't want to drink water out of recycle number 7. You want recycle number 7 out of your life, because that's where BPA comes from. And I talk about that in my detox book. Take your blood pressure. All of you should have your blood pressure taken sitting and then standing. I'm going to share a little nugget with you. Do you want to learn a new nugget? Of course. Their backup gland in your body to make sex hormones are your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands make sex hormones. Male sex hormones and female sex hormones. So as you're going through your normal menstrual life, when you get about 45 or 50 years old, you're going through the change, your adrenal glands should kick in and make progesterone for you, and estrogen for you, and all the other hormones you need. But if your blood pressure drops from a sit to a stand position, if bright light bothers your eyes, if you get dizzy very easy, chances are you have weak adrenal glands. If you have weak adrenal glands, we have to fix them. Stop eating sugar. Sugar stresses the adrenal glands. So does sweet fruit, bananas, raisins, and grapes. We encourage a salt called Celtic sea salt. It comes from the north of France. I encourage all of you to get this. Use this liberally. It's unrefined salt. It's a mineral. Minerals act as spark plugs in your body. If you get dizzy from a sit to a stand position, you could have adrenal exhaustion. You do not want adrenal exhaustion. If your back goes out easy, that means your adrenal glands are probably exhausted. Sugar and stress exhaust the adrenal glands. Now, how else do you know if you might have liver congestion? The liver is the key. The liver is the key. Turn your attention up here. How many have a little bronzing here in your left cheek? Bronzing on your left cheek is a telltale sign that you could have liver congestion. Okay? Here's something else. Look at yourself naked the next time you take a shower bath. Do you have little red bumps on your breast or your abdomen? Men can have these also. They're called cherry hemangiomas. It's very, very serious. Usually after the second child, I see them most often. You can change your life, those cherry hemangiomas will go away. It's a sign of too much estrogen. If a man has cherry hemangiomas, he has a greater chance to have prostate problems because it's coming from the estrogen. You see what's going on today? And let's be right down to the point. There are 4 or 5-year-old boys today that have prostate problems because of too much soy. They have prostate problems because of too much estrogen in the water. We have effeminate young men today because of the estrogen, and we have young teenage girls and adolescent girls that have ferocious sexual appetites because there's too much estrogen in our environment. We live in a very toxic estrogen society. You want to eat your beets, drink water, look at what I have written down there, B vitamins. We encourage whole food B vitamins. You need B vitamins to process the estrogen. How do you know if you need B vitamins or not? Do you cry easy? People who cry easy need B vitamins. In a month or so, we're going to be having mosquitoes. And when you go out in the woods and the mosquitoes follow you around, do you know what that tells me? You need vitamin B1 or thiamine. You need B vitamins. If you've taken an antibiotic in the last 6 months or a year, your colon is not capable of making B vitamins. Stay away from sugar. The next point, reduce or eliminate sugar. And as a side note, what's probably even more significant than sugar that I'm learning, that I've always known, but it's more apparent now for all of you, is high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup, the average American consumes 12 teaspoons a day, 62 pounds a year. Do you know that some of the fast food restaurants put high fructose corn syrup in their milkshakes? Ginger ale. Start reading ingredients. You can go to a fast food store today, have a burger with fries, and or have a milkshake. The high fructose corn syrup in that milkshake will tell your brain that you're still hungry, because high fructose corn syrup stops something called leptin, L-E-P-T-I-N. You want to lose weight, get off the high fructose corn syrup. This is how much sugar is in one soda. That's 9.5 teaspoons. Besides the estrogen, this sugar is very devastating to the human body. If you crave sugar, we usually support our patients with an item called GTF, Cataplex GTF. It's chromium. You want to eliminate the craving for sugar. We use an herb called gymnema. Gymnema is an herb that takes away the taste for sugar. GTF, takes away the desire. Gymnema takes away the taste. Next subject, the gallbladder. I could talk to you only just about the gallbladder right now for an hour. This is the liver. The liver is right here. In your body, the gallbladder is your dishwashing detergent. When they take your gallbladder out, they're taking away the reservoir of dishwashing detergent. What does that mean, Dr. Bob? Bile is an emulsifier. Bile breaks down fat. When you have stress, bile is alkaline. When you have stress, that alkaline bile becomes thick and pasty. Bile is made in the liver. Bile breaks down fat. When you lose your gallbladder, you have a greater chance to get cancer and a heart attack. I had a lady that came in yesterday. That's exactly what happened to her. A few years ago, she had a gallbladder out, then she had breast cancer, then she had other cancers in her body, and it all went back to her gallbladder was plugged up. If you're a female and you had 2 children, you have to be really serious, because after baby number 2 is when you start having lots of challenges. We use a product called Colacol. We got to get that liver clean. We also use something in our office called the castor oil pack. It's basically wool flannel. You put castor oil on it and you put it on your liver. My wife did that every day for a year to help her liver function optimally. Debbie also did coffee enemas. You can talk to her about that. This is serious, because she doesn't have to do those anymore, but she does do the castor oil pack periodically. We are constantly exposed to toxins. It's frightening. And I'm not trying to scare you. Because your goal is to constantly be working on